welcome to a new video. Today I would like to go through some of the setup changes I made to the IF15 during the IF World Championship in Bangkok, Thailand. Mainly to give you some information what I changed during the week and what setup changes help for my car throughout the week. So let's get started. First of all, I changed the shock oil. From 500 I went a little bit harder in the rear to 550. This allowed for a bit more grip on power and in the exit of the corner. And the car was a bit more stable going through the straight and after the straight. The same I did with the springs. Normally we run a little bit harder spring in the front and softer in the rear. I went with the same little bit harder spring in the rear, SMJ yellow, front and rear. This again allowed for more grip when you go on the throttle, and also the car was a bit more stable in the sweeper onto the straight and after the straight. Also helped with less traction roll. Next up, I cut the top deck. Or the radio plate, as you say. So I cut the radio plate here, and then I mounted a turnbuckle here to keep the stiffness in the upper arm. This helped a lot with steering, basically, especially turn in and off power steering in the low speed quarter. So yeah, this was very helpful in this track. Yeah, next up I also added a spacer on the top of the shock, a 2mm spacer and 1mm in the bottom. This allow when you space out the shock a bit more front, it take away a little bit of the aggressive turn-in feeling. And especially when you have a traction roll problem, this can help to space out the shock a little bit to allow for a bit more smoother entry in the corner. Next up, I changed the rear diff from 100k to 150k. This allows basically just for more rotation in the corner. And when the grip come up, you can add a bit more harder diff to get the car to rotate, and mainly this helps when the traction is high. And then last but not least, as this was very high traction and many people have problem with traction roll, it helped a lot to add weight to the car. So on my car I add a lot of weight in the middle of the car. First I use this 14 gram in the front, but I move it to the middle, to the center. It allowed for a bit more smoother cornering and still help with less traction roll. So a lot of weight in the middle of the car, and then I added for the final just the safety weight in the front, 7.5 gram in the front for extra safety during the long runs. So yeah, that was mainly my setup changes during the race, and I hope you find this helpful for your own driving with the IF15. If you have more questions, please send me a message or contact. And if you need more information about Infinity products, please visit Infinity website or contact your local dealer. Thank you so much for watching today, and see you next time.